Welcome to Trading Lounge and the global indices. I just want to check on the volume first for the S&P and the NASDAQ. Where are we? Oh, this is Morgan's, actually Morgan Stanley. So this is a monthly chart. So it's just quite a bullish pattern here over the long term here. I mean, from the 2008 here that they got bailed out by the government, didn't they? I think. Anyway, 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2. And this is kind of why we're looking at the S&P like this too, in a way, and 3, 4, 5. So it's still climbing further to the upside here, I suppose. I mean, you can't call this wave 1 and 2 and then this 5 waves here, 3 and 4 here, because you've got overlap here. There's no other way for it to go further, but to go further up, but that's not what I wanted to look at. This is a daily chart for the NASDAQ, and we can see here that the volume today might be added a little bit later on Trading View here, but it wasn't really excessive. The S&P was slightly better than yesterday. Let's just check on that. Yeah, slightly better than yesterday, but this turning bar here hasn't been, not a lot of volume, but it was increased volume over the previous days. But it's not like seeing players come in. You know, it's obviously like these bars here, you can see that somebody's come in and bought the dip and then they've sold it over here, you know, some commercial, something, you know, someone, I don't know who's, I'm not an affiliate member of any exchange, so I can't see, but yeah, definitely some trade going on at that point for that. But yeah, so a big bar, but not a huge amount of volume to say at all. So it's recoverable, you know, probably stops being taken out and those sort of things. But yeah, not a lot of volume on that side of the fence there. Anyway, coming back here, we're looking at this nice long third wave here for this. We still need the fourth. We can't see the fourth yet. It's not, I don't think it's there, and I want to talk about that today. And then we've got the fifth, and then the fourth, and then the fifth here, and this is this sort of wave 1 here at this point too. So we discussed this before, but we'll just see what comes over this side here. We'll be aware of what's what at that point. So the trend is definitely not over yet. So as I keep on mentioning, we're moving. We've got 1s and 2s here, and we'll be moving. We've already started to move into 4s and 5s, as they call them. So there's a beginning to a trend, the middle of the trend, and an end of a trend in any degree of fractal in Elliott. So this previous high here at 46.50, which is also if you know the trading levels, it's also the beginning of group 2. So after 5 it become 8, and part of 8 is 46.50 and 46.72. So all of that. And then this high over here is around the 4.8, so that's also going to, we call 8 a profit taking number, so those bids will be hit at that point. So I've been looking for wave 3 top, and I thought that I may have it in there, but I don't think so. So I'm going to bring it over to this, slightly a little bit higher up here. Okay, so I'm going to go from the weekly to the daily here, and that little wave 3 that we're talking about, I'm going to look at it a little bit higher, and just remember that this from 4,000 to 5,000, the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. And when we talk about 8, we talk about group 2. So that's where the 46.50 comes into play. I don't really need to prove anything here because it's got an old high over, you know, from memory over yonder. So, but that will be important, and the 46 is important. 46 and 47 is important. I just don't rule them out, but and the market will play to them, and we can use them, but they're not part of what we're looking at the moment. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment, because when we spoke yesterday, I was thinking this is going to be we could put wave 3 here, But I'm going to sort of justify myself when we go in here and have a bit of a look at this. So I'm going to go into the intraday, which is first step is the 20k. Sometimes we use 50k. So yeah, I've been in two minds about from this wave 4 here. It's clear that this is 1 and 2 and 3 here. It's just that, do we put wave 4 here and wave 5 here with this wave 5 here, and then we're going to look for this, you know, this wave 4 here as an ABC? This wave 4 here has got to be, technically, really, it should be bigger than this one, the previous degree of one lesser degree, really, and it's just not sort of there. Yeah, it could you know, it could move up here and come back, and if it showed something like that, then fair enough, but I just don't think that's the case. So I'm thinking that we need to put this over here, we need to put that here, and we need to remove that. So we've got this particular pattern here as an A and a B and a C here. Now it looks a little bit odd, but if I could just take a left turn here for a moment and just explain a few things. This is the NASDAQ. So that sharp move down here that we've seen here, it comes down pretty close to the bottom here. In fact, we can see it on the SPY over here as well, the SPY here. So I'm looking at it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. It comes quite low down here. So I'm seeing it across the markets. And yeah, so I just want to move, we'll talk about the NASI in a moment, but the Russell really sticks out. You see how here we've got the A wave here and a B and a C, and it takes the low out here, where the other ones were just sort of tinkling with the low here. This one breaches it. So we can look at wave 3 here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then go up for wave 5 with wave 3 here. That's my justification, and my indecision is final, as they say. So I'm just going to bring these back here. Just wanted to show you what my thinking was, and then you can destroy or keep whatever. So yeah, I'm thinking that in one way or another we've got to look at this wave 5 here, because the extension's in wave 3 here. We can normally sort of look at the length of wave 1. Take this with a pinch of salt, but it's just really about the look and the feel and the perspective, as the word goes. So we could be looking at something like that, and then the wave 4 here. So that's what I'm sort of thinking at this point with this. So I'm just going to go from 20,000 ticks to 100 ticks. So this A, B, and C here, it will look quite big here. I want to go to the 100, and we'll need to get some more data in. Is 5 enough? Not quite. Let's get a bit more in here. So so it looks a little bit sort of weird here, but basically we saw the Russell took the low out down here. So the A wave, and A, B, and C for the B wave, and down for the C wave for wave 4. Now I may change this, but I feel a little bit better about it. We just need to be, I mean, in one way or another, that 4650 is here, right? So that's the lower end of group 2. Then there'll be 4720 and 48. So it's a long way. Group 2 looks quite minor. This is minor group 2 here. So it's quite large at this point, and that will be 4720. We might as well just think ahead a little bit. And we normally just give that a splash of color. Doesn't mean too much, just helps us know that where we are. So group 2 is a long way away at this particular stage. So every number is important. Every price over here is important. It's got its pecking order. And like I say, 46 is important, but you'll find that 4650 will be more important. And 47 is important as well. 46 and 47 normally get tops and bottoms, and the 4650 here is where the balance point is, and we can use it for trade setups and those sorts of things. But anyway, we'll talk more about that when we get there. But so yeah, there's a couple of ways to view this. First of all, that yeah, so what's a good way to look at this? I suppose in this case here, I've got wave 4 here, and I counted it up very conservatively with wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here. And I was looking at this as wave an A here, then an A and a B, an A and then an A, B, C here for the B wave, and then up for the C wave for the B, and then 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for wave 4, and then going up for wave 5 here. Now, when I look at the SPY, I can count that a little bit cleaner on the SPY over here. Here you can see obviously a strong move here. So this is likely to be the third wave in here. So you've got to work out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then work out this here. Now, in this case, I could put wave 1 here and wave 2 over here. I could put wave 1 here, one here and 2 here, and then 1 here and 2. There's a few ways I could go about doing this, but either way that you look at it, it still needs to go higher, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, so on the S&P, do we put wave 1 over here for this? So that would be putting this wave 1 here. I suppose I could put this as an A and a B and a C to here, and then put wave 1 here, and just put wave 2 over here for this. So there's a couple of different ways to count it up, but one of the main points here is that 46 is really going to be a little bit of a game stopper here, and the market will swing within this particular range here. So 46, we've got group 1 above and group 2 below, and we can see the good support that group 2's giving here now. This consolidation in here will become the support for anything that moves up into this space here. So we should be going higher, but it won't be going that fast through that little area there. And when we have a look at the NASDAQ, it's much the same as well. And in this case, as you know, we had wave 4 here, and I'd always like this as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 here. It never overlapped here. So yeah, in this case, it looks kind of, it's a better fit here, really, There's a couple of ways I could look at this here as well. I could look at this little spike up here as 1 and 2 here, and then all of the third wave here and the fourth wave here. So I could put wave 1 over here and wave 2 over here for this, and bring this up higher here. That's one way to look at it. I could also bring this here as wave 1 here and 2 here. I'm just giving you the rough and the smooth of it, and wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 coming up to here. All we really need to do is take out this top here. Wave 1 wasn't that long, really, so we can extension in wave 3 here. So we can kind of just use this as a bit of a stomping spot. So it may, that would bring us up into the 16,000. And you could imagine, if you were trading this and this number's going to sort of hold the market to itself, that's what it will do. And then we've also got group 1 here as well, 1, 2 and 3, or in this case 100, 200 and 300. Then we've got another group 2 starting at that point, but don't need to go that far ahead. So it's likely, whichever way we look at it, it's likely for the market to push up to 16,000. And how far it goes above, I don't know, because we can count this up in different ways here, right? But it's not going to go that far. It's not going to go that far because when I look at a market that's pretty easy to understand, and this is the Russell here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and then we've probably got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So there's not a lot in this here. Do you know what I mean? For the Russell here. So then we'll be there. So I don't think there's a lot to go in this case, And this is the thing, once we're there, once we get this finished off here, then I think that we get into this other correction here, this a larger ABC pattern at this point. So we need to be careful. It's not easy when you're working around these sort of large numbers here, and this is the same case here with this market here in terms of counting it to the upside here. We've had wave 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we've had this dog leg of a correction here that they're not always easy to work out. I mean, before we went into this here, I said that there's going to be, they're nightmares mostly. You don't really know what they are until they're done half the time. Sometimes you can pre-guess them, but I've learnt that if you don't keep your gloves up, you can get a good sort of clonk on the chin, so to speak. So it's better just to stand back and allow it to be until you can see what you need to do. And yeah, so we'll just see, you know. And once again, the Russell's not going to go far from 2000. You know, it's a big number, it tracks big orders and those sorts of things, and it will try to push up, and it will, you know, it will be pulled back as well. So that's where the Russell is. And before we go to the DAX, I just want to have a look at the guy on the DJ here. So the DJ is going pretty well. I just wanted to have a look at the this is the sector here that took off quite early here, and I kind of see this particular pattern. I didn't realize it because I don't know everything, unfortunately, but this particular pattern here where we've had, same as the Dow here, the A, the B and the C, we had this wave one up here, was one of the reasons I knew that we're bullish on the Dow, I mean on the markets as well. But yeah, we have the ABC and all that sort of stuff, but it's very much like Morgan's, JP Morgan here, where it didn't go as high up here, do you know what I mean? But we still had a wave one with an ABC, then this one and two and one and two, and then this third wave here. So, you know, this is, so it all gets squashed up. I won't go into more, but I just want to say that this bank has got the same pattern as the industrial sector here. It's the same pattern if you're looking at those sort of things. And I haven't pulled this apart here just yet, but we will be sort of approaching that wave three up here soon enough, you know. I'll just check that with the Dow here. Oh no, we still got this wave three here. I thought that might be the case. Let me just go back here for a moment. Yeah, because if I've got any little dudes here I can use. No, but it looks like it's wave one to here, two to here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's still like it needs to move up here in this case, but this is a little bit different from the other markets. I'll put a bit of effort into that later. This one here, we did call a trade on it, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be up here with a new high, and then this wave four. So it's going to be slightly different. That's interesting. I sort of understand that we could be slightly behind here. I mean, it's if I go left field here for a moment, because I've had, coming back to the S&P here, I'll just put this on here, going on to, we want to go on to 20Ks here. I've got this orange wave 3 up here that we're heading for. But when I go to my alternative count here for the upside here, I'm still on this blue wave 3 and blue wave 4 here. So I've still got work to do on all of this. But you know, I haven't really made any mistakes. It's just that, you know, I understand that, you know, there's little things in here that you could count differently. You know, you could count this as 1 and 2 in here, and all of those sorts of things. You could count you count that, okay. Yeah, so I was quite happy with this count, having blue wave 3 up here. I haven't seen this count for a little while. It's not a, you know, it's not a huge difference or anything, but it's it does make a little bit of a difference. And I do need to bring the stocks into this picture as well, you know. So anyway, I'm just shooting the breeze a little bit, so sorry to lead you astray here, but you don't have to worry about anything really. The market's is going higher. You know, that's the takeaway today. You know, it has been the takeaway for a long time, but it's still, we're still in this trend. So it's, you know, you can still, any stocks that have these, you know, if you're in ETFs or whatever, at least you know that the market's, you know, it's unfinished. You know, in this case here, we've got wave 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2 here, and we're starting to see the market sort of push up into third wave activity now, you know. So yeah, I mean, there's a long way to go for the Dow here, you know. I mean, it's a long way. So over to the European markets. So I won't look at the bigger picture on the DAX today, but I wanted to be a little bit, if the US markets are going to be approaching a top into a wave 3 very shortly, that means that that's going to affect, well, a lot of other markets that are closely connected and doing trades, and so on. So I can look at this here as 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 over here, and then going up for 5 here. So when we spoke yesterday, we had 1, 2, 3 here. We were looking at 4, I think. So yes, about right. So somewhere in here. So we're looking for a little move up into here for wave 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here now. So we can have a top in here, and yes, it can go higher. Let me just double check that there. So it's a little bit rough and ready in here, isn't it? So we might be able to, that might be just the third wave. We could probably get one more out of this. And the reason I say that would be 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and ABC for 2. Do you know what I mean? And then we go 3, 4, 5 here for the third. So it is possible to get another little high here. But yeah, just be careful. This number here, 16,500, it doesn't seem sort of much, but it actually carries a lot of weight. And it'll also be part of minor group 2 of 18,000, which is way up there. So it doesn't sort of mean much, but I should just give it a bit more definition here in terms of what we're looking at, because it will be significant. It's anyway, I won't go into it further than I have to, but I just wanted to do a couple of things here. I wanted to point out that we should be getting, based on the S&P, we should be going higher, but it won't be going a lot higher at this point. Okay. The other way to look at this here is that I've had it as 1, 2, 3, 4 and going up for 5 here. So that could be wave 1 top over there. And if that's wave 1 top over there, then it's possible for this to come down. This will be roughly the 50% mark here and then go up. The other way to look at this is that if I look at this as wave 1 over here with an A and a B and a C for wave 2, which is also possible if you can squeeze 5 waves out of this little move here, then this move up here would be green wave 1 and green wave 2 here. So in that case, we would have to remember that we can also make another high here. That said, we may also just come down to the 50-60% here and then push up again as well. We need to understand that on an intraday basis, the European markets and Asian markets can follow the US market, but in their off hours from the US, they can do their own thing as well. So the DAX, the FTSE, the Australian market, all of this move up here has been, we're on 1,000 ticks here. All of this move up here has been the same, you know. But I do believe that we're going higher. This is the Vanguard FTSE European DAX index here. This is another sort of way to look at it here. And the reason I'm showing you this is that this particular move to the upside here is just not finished. This here is some type of little A, B, and C correction here. So it means we should take out the tops here. And yeah, we are taking out the tops here at the moment. But what will happen here, this looks like a little wave 4 here, doesn't it? But at some point here, we're going to see this pull back before it goes up again at that point. But it's definitely, you know, it's on the trend going to the upside in the bigger picture. So then we come over to the FTSE. So I just wanted to look at the weekly chart here for a moment, and I just wanted to talk to you about this. So we basically got 5 waves up here. So we can look at that as, well, you have to look at it as, you can't look at it as wave 3 because this would overlap down here. So it's got to be 1 and 2 here. And then when we count this up here, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here. So there's 2 things that could have happened here. We could have had a top in the market, and that would have been the end of the world and everything. And secondly, we would have had a correction and we'll move up. Now, normally we can look at wave 2s. Wave 2s can pull back anywhere, really. They can pull back to, you know, one point within the previous low here. They could pull back 60%, 80%, 40%, 50%. It's only pulled back very small here. So there's 2 things that can occur here. We can either have a larger correction coming down here, which would be kind of and this would be 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5, but that would be against the trend of all the other markets. So I don't sort of see that happening. And also too, what I'm actually starting to see here is not 3 waves up, but 5 waves up. So it's starting to confirm and tell me that this is a corrective pattern here. And I like it as a corrective pattern because the A wave is sharp and the B and the C wave is on more of an angle. So it's reluctantly wanting to go down. Yeah. So yeah, I think that we're bullish. Now that it opens up a because if we get 5 waves up here, which is a bit like what we just looked at with the DAX, you know, it'll be this move here. Right, we're counting it up as 5 waves, and we're looking for a top there with that, with the same here as well. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But that would give us, and the DAX, it would give us wave 1 and 2 here. And then if we got 5 waves here, we're going to get another 5, and then we're going to get another 5 here. So that will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this would also end up being a wave 1 over here as well before going up again. It's pretty hard to imagine the English economy being this 1 and 2 here, but you always get the opposite of what you think you're going to get. So not always, but most of the time you get fooled by the market. So I don't think about what the newspapers and other things say. I just look at the wave structure and the patterns and go off that. So if I get 5 waves here, then we're going to get another 5. It's as simple as that. And if we get another 5, it will take the tops out here. So I can understand folks that have got this as a top here, as a serious top in the market, but it's pretty hard to claim that as a top. Let's just go back here a bit. That means we can make this, just bear with me a second. That will be there. So my wave 1 is missing from here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, and 5 here for that. And then this move down here, you know, it's quite deep, isn't it? So it's like it is acting like a wave 1 and 2 here. I mean, it's pretty bizarre to look at it like this, to be such a strong market, you know, but it's what the wave structure is telling me, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. We're just going to keep working this. So I'm just really shooting the breeze here. You know, normally would expect wave 2 to come back further, but because the rest of the markets around the world are pretty bullish and need to be going higher, this is going to be drifting higher here as well. So so that's that. And I think that, I'm not sure where we've been on here. We've been on 1000. I can't remember where we were on this. Okay, yeah, 1000. So this, let me just get in a little bit more data here. So this would be the A wave coming down, the B wave here, and the C wave over here for this, right? So this particular move to the upside here, this is the 61.8%, and the market is stalling at this level here. This is why we can't trade it, because it's just pointless. And we're looking for a correction, you know. Can we look at this whole move up as an ABC? Probably, but it does count better as a 5-wave structure. So we've got wave 3 here and an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. So this will be a little bit like the US markets. And I could probably put wave 4 over here and have some other complicated correction as well. Like I said yesterday, we will be going up, and we're going up, but how far we go up is the important, is the next step here, you know, because if this is wave 1 up here, when that S&P and all that top out, and the DAX around the 16,500 area, then what we're looking for here is some sort of ABC correction. This will be our setup to trade long at that point, you know. So yeah, that's it. So we can push higher. I could put wave 4 here. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and have overlap and squash it all up. I don't know the best way to go in this, but I know that the market is creeping here, as I've said before. So it's in a bit of a weak situation. I know it's going high. I can see that it needs to go higher, but I'm waiting for this ABC here, you know. Then we can go from that point, you know. So anyway, that's where that is. And I thought we'd have a quick look at some of the other markets around the world. So this is the Nifty here with a wave 3, an A wave here, an A, B, C for the B wave, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here. I don't really have a good impulse wave here. I could get a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of it, but I'd like to see something different. So we're just going to keep a bit of an eye on this. It's we definitely could come down further. I could go 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2 here, and 1. I could come down further. That's not a problem. But all I'm saying here is we've got a possible 5 wave move to here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, then a correction, and then another 5 waves here, then a rally here that doesn't overlap that or not by much or anything. I can't see. No, it looks okay as wave 4, and then down for wave 5. That looks like it could be completed here. So if we get 5 waves here, or we can see some sort of ABC pattern here, then I'll call a long trade in over here for this. Okay, but we're not there just yet. This needs a little bit of work to go on here, but I just thought I'd line, and it may not be the case, you know. I mean, if we get the setup, we can take it and we can, you know, move in with it, but it's not there yet. This could get more complicated at this point, but just pointing it out that we've got that ABC correction here. This is the Nikkei here. We looked at this a couple of weeks ago, looking at it as wave 1, 2, 3 here, and ABC for wave 4, and then pushing up for wave 5 here. We probably expect wave 5 to be roughly the same as this, but as a starting point, so to the 35,000 would be about right for that. And then there'll be a correction at that point. There'll be some sort of ABC at that point before going up again. Okay, so that's the Nikkei, just updating on that. And this is Vanguard's emerging markets here. So this is the VWO here. So it's the FTSE emerging markets. So that's got, you know, Taiwan's in there with their semiconductors, and Tencent and Alibaba and Reliance, and a lot of Chinese things in there as well, and also other things like Vale, you know, from Brazil. You know, Brazil sell a lot of their iron ore to China, and their construction, China construction is in there as well. 939 company. So it's a bit of a mix of things, but it's quite sort of China centric in a way. Well, certainly that, you know, that side of the fence. But anyway, what I sort of, you know, we haven't looked at this for ages, but you know, we've got this 5 wave structure up here, but in fairness, it could be wave 1 or wave A and then the B wave, right? But then we have this as wave 1 and 2, and it's really sort of moving away quite nicely now. So I can see that it needs to, you know, it just needs to move higher at this point. So that's all. I'll just fill in the dots a little bit and leave that. But it's kind of, you know, we're seeing the Nikkei push up. We're seeing, you know, this push up. And this has also got the A50 in it, top 50 stocks from as an index from China as well, the A50. That's that. And we come over to the Australian market. So the Australian market here is much the same as the FTSE and the DAX in terms of this particular trend to the upside here. So we could look at it in a few different ways. I could look at it in a few. Yeah, we can look at it in a few different ways. But yeah, so I think we still need to move this over here further, and we'll probably need to move this over here further, and we'll probably need to push this over to here. Let me just remove that, push that there. Just trying to find another way to do this here as 1 and 2 here. Just move these out the way, don't need them there. And then I'll move that and put that there and put that there and put that there. So still creeping to the upside a little bit. I don't think we're going to get that correction for wave 2 that I was looking for here. And I won't need that wave 1 and 2 in here. I was looking for a sort of another bigger push to the upside here, but I'll just put these across here. We'll just track this next 5 waves up, and then we'll see where the other US markets are at that point. Just need to move these out the way. Need that. That can come over to here. We'll use these ABCs over here. This could come back quite deep really here if it was coming back, and it may not be a wave 2 just here yet either on this one. We'll just take a look at that in a moment. So yeah, 1 2 3 4 here, 1 2 3 4 5, so we can expect it to push up further. So really the biggest number here is the 7.5. So what we're going to be looking at here is a bit of a classic trading levels pattern. So we've had the arrival, the reaction here, and then we'll be looking for the first high above the level in 5 waves, and that should be the top at that point. And then we we can look at this at that point then, because if we look at the daily chart here, there's 2 ways we can view this here. As you know, I'll just go back over it a little bit. So we can look at it in terms of a much bigger triangle coming through. The high on the XJO is over here. So an A, B here, C here, and then a D and an E here, and finish at this point, and then move up at that point. The other point here is we can look at this wave E here. We can put this over here as a correction over here, and then look at this as a bullish move as wave 1 here. So we can do that as well, because we know the banks are bullish now, and because we know the banks are bullish, well, we're here 20k. Because we know the banks are bullish, we can look at the XJO looking a bit bullish because it's dominated by the bank. So wave E over here, whole triangle pattern coming down, 1 2 3 4 5 here, and for 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 over here, and then that means that this needs to come back for wave 2 here. So we're just trying to find the top here. That's really what we're looking at here on the bullish side. So we could have a top here, but I think there may be one more little top over here based on what I can see with the market. So a little 1 2 3 4 in here, and then 1 2 3 4 5 coming up here. So yeah, and the thing here is that it'll play out at 7.5 here. That's the 5 is the second strongest number, and it's got it high here as well. So we'll see how this pulls back at this point, because it's either going to give us a nice, at some point, it could be from here, I don't know, but at some point we're going to get an ABC pattern here and then go up, which will be in line with the rest of the market, or it's going to come down level down to here somewhere as that other triangle pattern and then go up. So it's just about how deep this is going to be here. You know, it could be quite deep and still have the wave 2 here. So there's a bit to go on here that I can't answer just yet, but we know that the banks are strong. So if I've made a total dick of myself, which unfortunately happens to all of us now and again, if that's the case, if we get the first high above the level over here and we get a bit of a classic trading levels pattern across here, like we got this first high here, so we didn't really get anything else here, did we? We couldn't go long at that point, you know. We've also got a cleaner 5 waves up here. You know, I mean, it's part of something else, but I'm just saying. So, but we can go, if we make a total idiot of ourselves and get it all wrong, we'll still know where to go long at. Do you know what I mean? So everything matters, and in a way it sort of doesn't. We know that this last bit of the trend here is creeping along a little bit, but still it could just sort of do something like this and then just continue up here. You know, it could stagnate here for a while and push up, because when we look at the banks and using CBA here as a blueprint here, then we've got wave 1 here, 2 here, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So this third wave that I've got here, that may be, you know, that may be pushed over here further. Platform's just resetting. It's 10 to 8, so can't use it. It just locks up while it's resetting. But yeah, this needs to go higher. So because we're in a series of wave 4s here, it could, you know, stall the ASX 200 a bit, and we take it from that point. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. All right, I'll leave it at that. Sorry for such a long video. Cheers.